Algebra 2, Lesson 11-3. Number 1, solve the equation, the square root of x minus 9 equals 5. All right, let's start off by getting rid of this radical. We'll square both sides by 2, or square both sides. That gives us x minus 9 equals 25. So we add 9 to both sides, and we got x equals 34. So let's check it. The square root of 34 minus 9 equals 5. Well, that would be the square root of 25, and that does, in fact, equal 5. So the solution is x equals 34. Let's try number 2. Square both sides, and you have 3x equals 36. Divide both sides by 3, and you got x equals 12. So let's try this. 3 times 12, the square root of 3 times 12 equals 6. So the square root of 36 equals 6, and that is, in fact, true. So the solution is x equals 12. And let's try number 3. Again, we have a radical on one side, so let's square both sides, get rid of the radical. X plus 3 equals, and this x that was squared, x plus 1 times x plus 1, that's going to give us x squared plus 2x plus 1. All right. Now let's subtract x from both sides, and we got 3 equals x squared plus x plus 1. Subtract 3 from both sides, we got x squared plus x minus 2. That's going to give us 0 equals, and if we factor that, that's going to give us x plus 2 times x minus 1. Set each of those equal to 0. So x plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2 from both sides, and you got x equals negative 2. X minus 1 equals 0. Add 1 to both sides, and you got x equals 1. So let's try this. We got negative 2 plus 3 equals negative 2 plus 1. Put the negative 2 in for the x, and what do we get? The square root of 1 equals, well, that's negative 1. So 1 does not equal negative 1, so not a solution. Let's try 1 plus 3, the square root of 1 plus 3, and then it gives you 1 plus 1. Well, the square root of 4 equals 2, and that is true. 2 does equal 2. So this is what we call that extraneous solution. Let me write it right here. Extraneous solution. All right, so x equals, well, negative 2 doesn't work. Let's try number 4. Again, we're going to square both sides. That gives us 15x plus 10 equals, and let's see, 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. That's 4x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 9, 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. And then we'll subtract 15x from both sides. X squared minus 3x plus 10. Subtract 10 from both sides. Minus, that's 4x squared. 4x squared. Minus 3x minus 1. And can we factor that? Let's see, what are the factors of 4? 2 and 2, 2 and 2, or 4 and 1. 4 and 1 will give you 3. So we got 0 equals, that's going to be 4x. And then we got x, just 1x there. So that's going to have to be plus 1 and minus 1. That works. So let's set those equal to 0. And x minus 1 equals 0. Subtract 1, you got 4x equals negative 1. Divide by 4. All right, add 1 to both sides, you get x equals 1. All right, now we got to test it. And that's going to be 15 times negative 1/4 plus 10 equals 2 times negative 1/4 plus 3. And let's see here, what does that give us? The square root negative 15 fourths plus, and that would be 40 fourths. And let's see, that's going to be 2 times 2 and 3 fourths. And let's try that. Let's see. That's going to give us 25 fourths. That was 5 halves. And let's see. 2. Oh, let's see here. This, oh, that was not supposed to be in parentheses. Negative 1/4 plus 3, and that's going to be negative 1/2 plus 3, and that's going to be 2 and 1/2, which is 5 halves. So x equals 1/4 works. Now let's try 1. 1's the other one, so we got the square root. That's going to be 15 times 1 plus 10 equals 2 times 1 plus 3, and that's going to be 5 over here. That's the square root of 25, and the square root of 25 is indeed 5. So both of those work. Now let's see. Number 5. Number 5. Well, how do we get rid of this 1/2? Let's square it. And then square this. Because remember, the square root of x plus 4 equals x plus 4 to the 1/2 power. Those are the same. And then what do we get? We got x plus 4 equals 36. So x equals 2. Oh, 32. 32. So what do we got? 32 plus 4 to the 1/2 equal, and that's the check. That's the check equals 6. So it's 36 to the 1/2 power, and 6 equals 6. So x equals 32 is in fact a solution. All right, y'all try number 6 on your own, and I'm going to give you the solution so you can check your answer, but if you have to show your work. All right, you have to show your work. Number 7, I'd like for you to, well, let's see here. Yeah, let's do this. This is a little bit tougher. Square both sides. And then that gives us x minus 6 equals, that's going to be x squared minus 4x plus 4. Now let's add or subtract x from both sides. And we got x squared minus 5x plus 4. Add 6 to both sides. And you got x squared minus 5x plus 10. All right, what are the factors of 10? 10 and 1, 5 and 2, and that's it. And none of those will add up to 5. So we're going to have to use a quadratic formula. Okay, and that is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So let's put that in there. We've got x equals negative, that's going to be negative 5, plus or minus the square root, that's going to be negative 5 squared, minus 4 times 1 times 10. And all of that's going to be over 2 times 1. So what do we got? X equals, that's going to be 5 plus or minus the square root. That's going to be 25 minus 40. And all of that is divided by 2. So x equals 5 plus or minus the square root of negative 15 over 2. All right, the discriminant is negative, so there are no real solutions. The discriminant is negative, so there are no real solutions. There's only imaginary ones. All right, let's try this one here. And we'll square this side. And we'll square that side. And that's going to give us 4 squared times x minus 2 equals x plus 13. That's going to give us 16 times x minus 2 equals x plus 13. 16x minus 32 equals x plus 13. Subtract x from both sides and you got 15x. Add 32 to both sides and you got, let's see, 45. Divide by 15 and you got x equals 3. Well, let's try it. 4 times 3 minus 2 to the 1/2 power equals 3 plus 13 to the 1/2 power. Well, that's going to be 4. 3 minus 2 is 1 to the 1/2 power, which is just 4. And that's going to be 16 to the 1/2 power, which is 4. So x equals 3 is the correct solution. Oh, what do we got here? Number 9. Now, what is different from these than from the others? What is different from these? Well, it's a cube root, okay? So I'm thinking we need to subtract 5 from both sides, and you got negative cube root of x minus 4 equals negative 3. Since they're both negative, we can get rid of the negative. All right, now we're going to cube both sides. And that's going to give us x minus 4 equals 27. Add 4 to both sides, and x equals 31. Now with cubes, you don't really have to check because, well, they don't have extraneous solutions. Why don't y'all try number 10? and show your work. And the solution is x equals -5/4. What do we need to do first? Did I miss one? I don't remember doing that. Yes, I did miss one. 9, 10, 8, 9, 9, 10. So we should be on number 11. I skipped number 11 somehow. Almost. Okay. So we need to cube both sides. And that's going to give us 69x plus 35 equals, and then that's going to be x plus 5 times x plus 5 times x plus 5. So 6x plus 35 equals, and the first two is going to be x squared plus 10x plus 25 times x plus 5. And then let's see, 6x plus 35 equals x times x, that's going to be x cubed. Make sure I can read that later. X cubed, and then x squared, that's going to be plus 5x squared, and that's going to be plus 10x squared plus 50x plus 25x plus 125. All right, I think we can do some simplifying there. Equals, that's going to be x cubed plus 15x squared, and 50, that's going to be plus 75x plus 125. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides, and I got x cubed plus 15x squared plus, let's see, that's going to be 69 . That should have been 69x squared right there. So that's not going to be, that's going to give me 6x plus 125. Almost, subtract 35 from both sides, and you got x cubed plus 15x squared plus 6x, and that's going to be plus 90, I believe. All right. Factor this. I'm going to group the first two and then group the last two. I got 0 equals, and then I can take an x squared out, and that gives me x plus 15 plus, take the 6 out, and that gives me x plus 15. So 0 equals, that's going to be x squared plus 6, and then x plus 15. All right. Now, think about it. If you put x squared plus 6 equals 0, x squared equals -6, so x equals plus or minus the square root of -6. That's imaginary, so that's not going to work. X plus 15, that's a 15, equals 0, so x equals -15. All right, that works. The only solution is x equals -15. I would like for y'all to try number 12 and show your work. And the solution is x equals 3. 13. I'll let y'all do 13. Show your work. Your solution is x equals 7/3. And we'll do this one here to the 4th power and to the 4th power. And that's going to give us 5x plus 1 equals, and then 4 to the 4th power should be 256. So let's subtract 1 from both sides. And we got 255. Divide both sides by 5, and what should give us 51. All right. Now, this is a 4th root. Even roots we have to check. So let's see. 5 times 51 plus 1 to the 1/4. This is the check. Equals 4. All right, so that's going to be, well, 255 plus 1 is 256 to the 1/4 power, which so 4 equals 4, and x equals 51 is in fact the solution. That checked. Number 15. Show your work. And the only solution is x equals 3. And here, again, show your work, x equals 1/2. Okay? All right. The formula for speed versus skid length in example 3A assumes that all 4-wheel brakes are working at top efficiency. If this is not true, another parameter is included in the equation so that the equation becomes S equals, where N is the proficiency braking as a decimal. Accident investigators know that the rear brakes failed on a car, reducing its braking efficiency to 60%. On a dry road with a coefficient of friction of 0.7, the car skidded 250 feet. Was the car going above the speed limit of 60 when the speed began? So let's see here. S equals the square root of 30 FDN. All right, so we're going to have 60 equals the square root of 30 times 0.7, the coefficient of friction, times D, and that's the distance, and then N is braking efficiency. They said that was, so we got N, and then we got 0.6. All right, so let's see, we got 60 equals the square root of, well, 30 times 0.87 times 0.6 is going to be 12.6D. All right. Now, to solve for D, we got to square both sides. So 3,600 equals 12.6D. Divide both sides by 12.6, and we got approximately 286 equals D. Because the expected skid length under the conditions is 286 feet, and the actual skid distance was 250 feet, the car was not exceeding the speed limit when the skid began. All right, folks, great job. And